So I came up playing Capcom vs. SNK 2 at the UC Berkeley Barricade, rest in peace. So I'm a Bay Area player since 2000, 2001. And every week, Ricki Ortiz used to come by our weeklies and just take our money. And we were pretty free as it goes. That was my first time kind of playing a real top player and just learning the complete futility and hopelessness of trying to walk forward and press a button. Because every time I did, Ricki's Vega, she would just walk forward a little bit, press crouch medium punch, and stab me right in the stomach. And that's how I'd lose, just getting stabbed in the stomach over and over and over. And I was like, okay, this is what a top player means. This is what the apex of skill, what that looks like in Street Fighter. I was like, okay, it was a humbling moment for me. And I figured after getting beaten so badly by Ricki and pretty much everyone else who came by Barricade, because I was pretty scrubby back then, I went down to EVO 2003 for my first ever EVO tournament, first tournament out of like my region, and I felt ready. It's like, oh, I get whooped by Ricki every week. Of course, I'll be fine, right? So I get into my bracket, and I hadn't looked at any of the brackets or anything prior. I just walk up to the cabinet, because EVO was still doing tournaments on cabinets back then. And lo and behold, my first opponent is Ricki Ortiz. So she looks at me, I think she recognized me from all the lunch money she took. Says, hey, what's up? Bodies me real quick, sends me to loser. I'm like, great. Welcome to EVO, right? Where I just lose the same person I lose to every week. Like, okay, and that was perhaps like not even the first, it was like the first of a long string of losing to Ricki pretty much every time I run into her tournament. And so the years pass, and like I keep on playing CVS2, and I play Guilty Gear, and play some other games. And I find myself in Japan for about a year when Street Fighter 4 is out, right? So they do some location tests, and they're released in the arcades in 2008. So I get a couple months of good arcade practice against Street Fighter 4 players in Japan. I was in Nagoya, so like Mago is just out there taking names, being shit up. And I felt pretty okay. Like I got to see some of the early Rufus stuff, right? Where like, people don't really know what the character did, and then say, oh, he's got a dive kick. Okay, we think we know what we can do with this. And I got a functional understanding of how some of the systems worked, the matchup, and it was good competition all over the place. And then I come back to the United States. I'm back in the US for what I believe was the first Street Fighter 4 tournament in the US, possibly just in California, definitely in the Bay Area. Someone at the San Jose State University arcade imported a Street Fighter 4 board, and so they had an early tournament, and like very few people had a chance to play the game before. So since I had played the game before, I knew how FADCs worked and how ultras worked and all that stuff. I did fine, and I go up against Ricki. And I'm nervous, right? I think she picked Sagat and I picked Rufus. I'm nervous. I'm like, this is Ricki Ortiz. She's taken my tournament entry fees for probably almost like 5, 6, 7, 8 years at this point. And so we go in, we shake hands, we start pressing some buttons. And I realized about the time, I think it was when I hit like the first focus attack or first dive kick or something, that she hadn't played the game yet up until that day. And I was like, oh, okay. And I got it. Like, I hate to brag about this on camera because there is no honor in this, but for a player like me, I'm a pop monster, right? My competitive career is characterized by the names of the people who I lose to on stream. I got perfected yesterday in Guilty Gear, and I was just happy the dude made top 16. I was like, oh, this is awesome, right? But I finally got my tournament win against Ricki, and then I kind of didn't play much Street Fighter 4 in competition for like years after that, so I never ran into Ricki again. She obviously went on to do all kinds of great things. She's a fantastic player. I'm a huge fan. I think she's the essence of Norcal footsies. But I was so happy that I could just take that game and then say, okay, I'm career undefeated against Ricki Ortiz in Street Fighter 4. So I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for presenting this story. I know I'm free, trust me, and shout outs to Ricki for being an excellent player and inspiring a lot of folks and really holding it down for Norcal because she's the best. But man, I get to hold that like for the rest of my life. That's at the top of my FGC resume.